Buffalo is going to win it both.
Kick your heels up and shout.
Let's see why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated. And we're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Now, baby, come on, come on.
No one
Come on
circles the
and
wagon
shout.
like the Buffalo Bills.
All right, we're back. We're back with another episode of Overdue Bills Pod. We got our guy Matt here. We doing this draft talk. Draft a special episode for the draft. The draft is tomorrow. Hopefully, you're hearing this today. We're gonna have to get this out as quick as we can. So you're hearing this today. Draft is tomorrow. But how you doing, Matt? Tell us how you doing, man.
Doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's exciting, man. This is like officially the start of the beginning of the NFL football season.
Yeah.
We got a surprise cameo, but yeah, man, we gotta. It's gonna be great, man. I'm just happy to talk football. It's the start of the season. We're ready to roll. Got a little surprise from Rome in there.
We got a 3-man show. Me, Matt, and Rome. You know what I'm saying? Matt, Rome. It's all good. Rome gonna be in the show. Don't stress it. We good. But yeah, just me and Matt. We doing a 2-man draft show. We're gonna be talking about, this is a I guess it's a, I don't want to say a new era, but it's Joe Brady's first draft. I'm having a brain fart. It's Brandon Beane's first draft without McDermott, kind of being that extra. So it's pretty much Beane's first real draft where he is calling all the shots, I would think. Maybe he gives some Brandon Beane, but it's really going to be, some Joe Brady, but it's really going to be a Brandon Beane draft through and through. So we're going to see, what he, what he going to do in the first round and stuff like that. So what's your thoughts on just this draft? How important is this draft? How you see this draft? Do you feel like this draft is like, this is like important to help us impact this next year, or like how important is this draft to you?
Well, for me, I think the draft is definitely a higher level of importance, I want to say, this year than a lot of other years, because right now we're at that point where everybody's saying the window's closing. We got a brand new head coach. How's the transition going to go? Things like that. I think this draft right here, we want to get guys that are going to come in and contribute right away and going to help us win a Super Bowl. We want to be able to hit a couple home runs and fill some of those missing pieces that are going to come in and be able to compete and bring us to the next level.
Yeah, man, that's great. So I agree, but let's before we get, I just want to give the fans a little bit of what we're gonna be talking about. But before we get into that, I want everybody to like, and share and subscribe to this, man. Subscribe YouTube, whatever you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're watching this, definitely subscribe. And also before we get into the deep into the show, we want to talk about our sponsor. They re-up with us, man. We got it coming again to double back in with our sponsor, AOG. Matt, talk to us about AOG.
Yeah, man. AOG Cigar Lounge, man. It's great partnership. Happy to be back with those guys again this year. AOG Cigar Lounge, located at 3495 Delaware Avenue, the premier cigar lounge in Western New York. Man, I'm telling you, go in there. Great selection of cigars, great selections of drinks to pair with the cigars. Awesome vibe. It's just a great spot to go if you want to hang out with friends. Do some business. And whatever, catch a game, all kinds of stuff. AOG Cigar Lounge is the best place to go and do that. Go check those guys out today. Tell them
Shout out to AOG, man. Always, we love doing business with y'all. And also, anybody else that's looking to, add another ad spot or a sponsorship, when we look for ads and sponsorships as well. So definitely hit us up. Overdue Bills OverdueBillsPod@gmail.com. But let's get into the show, man. So the bill coming up, first round tomorrow. We picked 26, I believe. I think got 7 picks in total. So this draft, it depends on who you listen to, right? This draft, it's not, I guess, not too many high level top elite people at the top tier guys. Maybe you got your few here and there. You got the running back, the Jeremiah Loves, maybe Mendoza, quarterback, stuff like that. But people saying it's depth in this draft, but maybe not your high end talent. Like maybe next year is the high end talent. So, but depends who you ask. People say that about a lot of drafts. But this year, Bills pick 26. How you feeling about that draft slot, Matt? What do you think? Just your initial thoughts on the draft spot, moving back, move for, what would you do? Move back, move forward. You want to trade up for some guy to get one of these high end talent guys, going it back because everybody the same at that spot at 26. So, what's your overall thoughts on 26 and a caliber of player we can potentially get?
Well, you know what, man, I think there's a caliber. At 26 we can get a great player because we get them in the later rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think 26. It just all depends on how you look at it. I mean, I know Bean has come on and said at that spot he doesn't necessarily have a ton of first round graded guys. So he may take a step back and gear up for when he really makes his money because we also know him not to really hit on guys in the first round. So I'm not too worried about it. Or we could see him go up a little bit and get a guy he does have graded in that first round. So it's really all dependent on his draft board. He tends to stay true to his draft board and those grades that they make for those guys. So 26 is a. I mean, I think we can find value anywhere, honestly. So I don't mind where we are.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, my initial thoughts about is that potentially a trade back here. Don't be surprised if Brandon Bean trades back here, right? I think once you get out of the top 12 to 15, that's where kind of like start middling. Like if somebody fall, if one of the receivers fall, like a Lemon fall, which I at this point I think that all those guys getting pushed up, like Tyson, Lemon, Omar Gooding, like Omar Cooper, those guys are getting pushed up. I think so. Every year the guy, all every year the offensive guys always get pushed up. So we're gonna be, I would say expect a draft back, a trade back, or potentially an offensive lineman, an unsexy pick here, like one of those picks where it's like, all right, you're getting drunk with your friends, you're like, we took the lineman from Clemson, like, all right, so I expect something like that. I think Brandon Bean may potentially be safe here. I think, I think he's going to try to get 9 picks instead of 7. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what Brandon Bean, he like those cracks at the 5th and 6th rounders where he feel like he can make his day. So let's not delay. What are before we get into actual players, what do you believe is our weaknesses? What are the Bills? What is Brandon Bean looking at? What are our weaknesses? If you Joe Brady or if you the new DC, what are the new 3-4 scheme? What do you want in the first round? What are our weaknesses, or what is something that we should be looking at? What type of players should we be looking at?
I think we're definitely weakest right now, position group wise. I would say probably the wide receivers, man. It's
Okay.
we obviously we have guys. We brought in DJ Moore. We have serviceable guys. I don't know. There's still not a clear cut guy that like is going to go in the first round of a fantasy draft or something like that. That's kind of how I'm gauging it.
Okay.
I guess that's like our weakest room to me. Either that or linebackers because we don't know. Matt Milano, obviously free agent.
Yeah.
We got Terrell Bernard coming back. He's been shown to be injury prone. Dorian Williams got injured at the end of the year. So that room is really light. So I think those two groups to me are our weakest groups.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with there. I think obviously D line. I mean, he's put a lot in the D line last year. So as far as drafting, free agents, and, some panned out, some got hurt. Joey Bosa's not with us anymore. So like I think D line, D tackle. Now he did address D defensive end in the free agency. With help me on the name
With Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb. Yeah,
Yes,
Bradley Chubb was somebody he added. We added a cornerback as well. D tackle was somebody potentially, right? We like we like Ed Oliver, but he can get help there. So D tackle
Yeah,
to potentially something that I can see us because we was terrible against the run, right? I mean, just god awful against the run, and I think
yeah,
a strong D tackle. Obviously, you see what the Bengals did, what trading a 10th pick in the draft for Dexter Lawrence because they know how important it is to stop the run to just have an anchor on that defensive side. I'm not saying
yeah.
I agree with that or not. I don't know. We'll see, but I know how important it is to have a high end D tackle, and Ed Oliver is good, but I don't know. I don't know if he's a run stopping D tackle. He's just haven't shown that he is. So I think D tackle is something that I'm interested in as well. So so what should we prioritize then, Matt? Right? What should we prioritize? Should we prioritize wide receiver? Should we prioritize defense with the new scheme, making sure he got the right pieces to write the new scheme? What should Brandon Bean be prioritizing day one, pick 26? What side of the bar are you more comfortable with going?
I mean, right now, I'm definitely more comfortable going offense. I mean, I
Okay.
think I think any help we can give to Josh Allen, anything like that, so we're not depending on no shade to Brandon Cooks, but a journeyman like that we're not dependent on that at the end of the year. That we have guys that are going to be able to grow throughout the season and are going to become dependable at the end of the year. Like I said, I know we brought in DJ Moore, but I don't think that's the immediate solve. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm comfortable with whoever he wants to bring in. Maybe I'll be a little bit upset with maybe like an old lineman or something. But
yeah,
I think
yeah,
think just the tail of the tape is I think it's looking like wide receiver or linebacker in my opinion. He had a lot of visits. They brought in a lot of guys. A lot of it's looking more so like they brought in more wide receivers than anything.
yeah.
So I definitely want to definitely think that might be where he's leaning. But where again, we talked about it, he might move back. He might stay where he is. We'll see where it is.
Okay, so I mean, based on what based on the super the wide receivers he brought in, and some ones you just like because you're a college guy,
Yeah,
you do
yeah, yeah,
I think you do college fantasy too, don't you, or something like that? So
yeah.
you're a
Yep,
college guy, so
yep.
well, we know some names, we know the high end names, we know the Tates, we know the Tysons, we know the Lemons, but I don't know
Yep.
if they're gonna be there, but maybe somebody will fall. We don't know, we'll see. But who are the receivers that you feel like that could potentially be there, or that you'll want? Because we potentially could move
Well,
up. We could move up.
a lot of guys are going towards Texas A&M wide receiver Casey
KC.
Concepcion.
Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
he's a Rochester guy.
Yep. Yep.
He's
Yep.
you know
Yep.
he and that just seems to fit a lot of mock drafts. Jordan Tyson. Some people have him falling because of his injury
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
issues. That's a guy I think I think he's a second ranked wide receiver in the class. He's a guy
I
who can
love
come
him.
in and definitely make an immediate impact. I think he's like 6'3". He's a downfield guy, and he wins a lot of 50-50 balls.
His brother played in the NBA,
Yep. So not man. I think he. I
so
think
great
he.
family.
He would.
Great. Yeah.
He'd be good. Zachariah Branch is a guy that they were
Yep.
leaning to, but
Okay.
then I think he got arrested last week, so he might fall down a couple draft
Was
boards,
that the guy, the one who got arrested for standing on the sidewalk or whatever?
something like that. Yeah, pretty. I'm pretty. There was like two Georgia guys, one of the linebackers, and then Zachariah Branch got. I think he got a
Oh,
DUI.
so something else. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
something else, something
Okay.
else.
Okay. 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 Okay.
So those guys are some higher rated guys, and then there's guys that are like middle rated guys that I think can also come in and make an impact. There's a guy on the national championship team, Elijah Surratt from
Elijah Sarrat.
Indiana.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
he was there. He was their ex receiver. A lot of pundits are going for Omar Cooper, his
Mm-hmm.
his his slot guy. Uh, but I think Elijah Surratt set the tone on the outside. He won a lot of 50-50 balls downfield that Josh
Yep.
likes to throw his guys open or kind of give him a chance. I think that would be a really good one. He's 6'3", big body guy. Then there's another guy in Chris Bell, who's another bigger receiver out of Louisville. Another guy who he wins a lot of one-on-ones, and he's a middle guy. Wouldn't necessarily get him. I would definitely wouldn't get him in with that 26 pick or even maybe even early second. But those guys could go on day two or late day two or early day three
Yeah.
and be solid contributors. I think that would be the way to go. But if we were to pull the trigger on a guy in the first round, I would say he's going to go for KC or Jordan
Casey.
Tyson if we're going to go wide receiver.
Yeah, if Tyson there, man, I mean, it's a lot
Oh
of hype.
man, that'd be a
People,
steal.
but if he's there, because people had him going falling, right? And he had a good
Is it?
workout. I guess he had a good pro
Yep.
day. But hey, injury's still a thing, and we'll
Yep.
see. He might. I like Jordan Tyson a lot. Like you said, I like either or of the Indiana wide receivers. I like Omar
Yeah.
Cooper, and I like
Mhm.
what's
Elijah
his name?
Surratt.
Surratt,
Elijah
Surratt, yeah,
Surratt. Yep.
Surratt. I like either one. I think both of those guys. I just having somebody from that team, they come in, they professional, they know how to win. They
Yes.
coming in not it's not like an immature problem. It's a coming in. I know how to win championships. Only lost one game in the last two. You know what I'm saying? So these guys is coming in ready to play. So I like I like the wide receiver there. I mean I'm not. So if we go wide receiver, are we closing the door on Keon? Is that if
No,
at
I don't.
26? I'm just saying at 26, 20
Yeah.
because that's higher than Keon was picked. Keon was picked in the second round, so it would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
2 years later. We pick a first round receiver. I mean, does he automatically move in front of Keon in that depth chart?
I don't think so. I think that at
Okay.
the end of the day, I think obviously he's been here, but you still got to come in and compete, right?
Yeah.
They did that with Keon. They didn't just give him the job, right? So I think that doesn't necessarily close the door on him, but we do have another spot in the wide receiver room that we got to fill. So
Yeah.
if we do that with a day one guy, then it is what it is, and then that guy's got to come in and compete. And I think any of the guys that we mentioned will come in and they'll come in and play right away. They're older guys. They're like you said, they're professionals already in a sense that they can come from good coaches and they're ready to roll.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, ultimately, yeah, I agree with that. I think if we go receiver there, because we got Palmer in the room too, so there's a lot of people that you can jump. Palmer. I think
Yeah,
more in more in dang, I'm having a brain bro.
Khalil Shakir.
Shakir, yeah, I just can't think
Yeah,
of nobody's name today.
yeah,
I think more and Shakir. I think those are the guys. And I think everybody else, and I think the tight end room is pretty much set. I
yeah.
think everybody else is kind of fighting for that position there. So if we're bringing another
Absolutely.
guy, it is what it is. You got to fight there. I'm also. I think I won't be surprised if we go safety either, right? Because
Yeah,
obviously our safety we drafted last year got hurt coming back from an injury. Maybe he'll get back, maybe not. But we do need another safety to help. See, having another brain fart. Co- uh,
Cole
Cole
Bishop.
Bishop. It's crazy. You think
Have to get you a roster sheet.
yeah, I got to get a roster sheet. Cole Bishop. I, I'm looking at him. I can't think of nobody's name for some reason. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Cole Bishop. I think having a safety help another high end safety, especially in the scheme. Somebody could come down. Well, Cole Bishop the one gonna come down. I think somebody he
yeah,
can cover. So I think add another safety is interesting. I won't be surprised there. But best available or for me is trade back. I think get Bean some more picks, take him
yep,
some more cracks at the whip. And I think he gonna find some good talent down back of the draft. So okay, if we
yeah.
don't go our receiver, right? You said O lineman, you said linebacker or something like that. Do you got any other positions that you like? Just a player you like. Maybe he don't even fit. Maybe he's just all right. He's just a player that I saw. A player that in film, a player that I just saw in college watching a game on Saturdays. So like, yo, I would like him to be on the Bills team. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it don't got to be first round. It got to be second round. Just a player that you would like. That being the draft because you just think he a good player.
Yeah, you know what? So there's a guy that comes to mind, and it's a guy that is it would be a need, right? You got Jacob Rodriguez,
I
inside
like him.
linebacker. He was
I
a
like Jacob
Heisman
Rodriguez.
candidate. He was a
Yeah,
Heisman candidate. He gets beat in coverage a little bit, but I don't really care if I have a linebacker that gets beat in coverage sometimes. You know what I mean? I want in a 3-4 defense, you got to have a solid inside linebacker who can plug holes in the run and he forced 7 fumbles last year. He's a guy who gets in, he gets active, punches the ball out, had 4 interceptions. He was a quarterback. He got recruited as a quarterback coming into college, so he already knows how to think that way, and I think can be a really good addition and potentially run this Jim Leonard defense on Sundays. So another guy that comes to mind. He wouldn't be a first round guy because he's graded as maybe like a day 2 or day 3 guy, but that would be another guy I would love to grab, and it would be a need at the linebacker position.
Yeah, I like that. I like that's somebody that I saw his film. He definitely a great a great linebacker. Somebody that we could potentially get in the first round. He's
Yep.
somebody that I seen him mocked here and there. Um, but yeah, it's a running back that I like. He remind me of Christian McCaffrey.
The
Um,
guy from Navy, his name is I think Eli. Um, I know it, Eli Heidenreich. That's his
High
name.
and right, yes.
Heidenreich.
I know
He
that
was
sounds
actually he
crazy.
was actually on my college fantasy team. He is CMAC.
Oh
He
yes,
does it all. He
that's
does it all,
somebody
man. Yeah,
I'm not saying I love James Cook, y'all. This is not a James Cook replay or nothing like that.
yeah.
He's just somebody I know if you just get him, develop him, and you might have just a weapon where you can use out of back, use like a Christian McCaffrey, use out of back. He play wide receiver.
But
He's a real he's a good player, right? He's just a good player,
great,
high and
great.
right.
Yeah, just yep. They were. He was the. I mean, Navy. They don't really pass the ball. He kind of they run the ball a lot, so he got a
Yep.
lot of carries, but a lot of passes out of the backfield. He'd break 80 yarders. A lot. Like he would tear it up, get a lot
When
of
you
catches
watch
out of
him,
the
he looked
backfield.
like
Yes,
obviously call anybody C-Mac is insane. But when you
did
watch the
it.
film, it's like, oh, he's like a little C-Mac. Now he's tiny.
100%. Yeah.
He's small, he's
He,
tiny, he's not the biggest person, right?
no, no. Yeah, he's like 6 feet. Yeah, he's small, but he
He's
that's
just a smaller
yeah,
guy, smaller frame. And if he get on, it might be like a Tariq Cohen or James White. I don't know, maybe he's
yep,
that type of role. But I love all that type of stuff. So if we get him in the fifth, sixth round, I don't know where you're going, fourth, fifth, sixth, something like that. If we get Heidenreich, I know that's
yeah,
but Navy, we know that's a discipline school. He coming,
yep.
he come bringing that. So I love Heidenreich as somebody as an offensive weapon. Somebody we literally can put him in any spot. I think we put him in a
Yep.
slot, put him. So Heidenreich is somebody that I definitely, I just want on my team. I just think he's
Yeah.
one of the people I
No,
just want.
that'd be, no,
Love his tape.
that'd be a solid pick. That was my guy this season.
That's dope. He just I like the tape. So fantasy, wherever you go, I'll be looking for him. So yeah, so we'll see. Um, all right, so 7 picks. What do you just we can't go we're not gonna go through all the picks, but what do you think?
No,
You think he gonna lean? How do you think Bean gonna do? You think gonna lean defense, these offense? What do you think Bean is thinking this draft? What do you want to come away with
you
before?
know, I like to go. I like to go wide receiver, and I think the rest I'd go defense, man. I'd go defense and wide receiver. I think we re-signed our guys on the old line. There may not be as much depth there, so maybe I could see him grabbing a guy late, maybe a depth guy. But I do think I think we got to hit a couple Brandon Bean esque gems in the mid to late rounds on defense, and I think we go receiver in the first round.
Okay.
That's the highest, I guess, the highest potential. Uh, for me right now to get a solid guy in the first round at wide receiver, then the rest we can go defense. There's some edge guys that and linebackers that I think we can get on in the second, third round that'll come in and play for us. And Bean has showed that he can, get those guys with in the years past. You got the last year Deion Walker, you got Terrell
Yeah.
Bernard. All those guys are all day 2, day 3 guy. Matt Milano, fifth rounder. Guys. He brings some guys in that can come in and make a difference, and that's what I want to. That's kind of what I want out of this draft.
See, most of our secondary,
Yep.
just hits, right? So, yeah. So, I think I want to come out this draft with one offensive weapon at least.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want Heidenreich, somebody. Just an offensive weapon. Don't gotta be like I remember a couple years ago when we drafted Khalil Shakir in the fifth or sixth round. It was just like,
First,
and I
fifth
watched
round.
some
Yep.
tape. I was like, wow, he's just a good football player. I
Yep.
don't know if how good he's going to be or how he's going to translate, but when I watch him play, when you get the ball in his hands, he's good, right? And he's found his way to be our number 2 receiver. Some of my people might not like that, but I think he's a good player nonetheless. So I just want to leave with another offensive weapon that won't hurt. To get a guy in these middle rounds, like once again, hopefully he's high and right or somebody of that ilk of that. So I'm looking for an offensive weapon, and then I want this 3-4 scheme to be filled out right. So whatever he got to do to fix that 3-4 scheme. Obviously, we probably need to reload just some extra pieces on the offensive line as well. I'm looking for that as well. So I think Brandon Bean is. I think he understands what was needed. It's a new direction. It's a new direction, a new defense, right? It's a more attacking defense. It's a more modern defense, right? I think McDermott it wasn't like an outdated defense or nothing like that, but it was definitely bend don't break, a shell type of defense, right? So I think this 3-4 scheme is going to be a different type of attacking defense where our defense is going to be making a lot more plays, a lot more sacks, a lot more stopping runs, tackle for loss and stuff like that. That's the goal. So I think refilling that 3-4 scheme, and so I want him to whatever he got to do on the defense and get if you go all defense, but I do want at least one offensive weapon. And I promise y'all, I definitely am a Bills fan. I do know these names. I'm just having some type of a brain fart or something right now. I can't think of anybody's name, but yeah, I think Brandon Bean I think you'll have a good draft, man. If I had to put a bet on it, I would say trade back, but we'll see. I take a Tyson, man. I take a Omar Cooper. I take any of these wide receivers. KC, like you said, he from Rochester. I like that as well. So I like a wide receiver there at 26. Why not? And then even if we go Rodriguez, right? I like Rodriguez.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I mean, at 26, you're looking to get the best player available, or you're looking to maximize as many picks as you can in the next
yeah,
round.
that's what it is.
So whoever he gets, for me, short of an old lineman, like an interior old lineman, I won't be mad at the pick at the end of the day. And no shade to the interior line guys, but man, I think we got our guys right now.
Yeah.
I think our line is set, barring any injuries.
And just honestly, if you feel like some of these guys are the same, why even pay somebody at the 26th pick that you'd rather pay somebody at the 37th pick? It's a cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Like just Cap's thinking about cheaper. Sure. It's a different thing. So I think Brandon B understand that. So we'll see. So any other players you want to name before we get out that you didn't get to say that you think we can draft before we get out of here? Your last bold prediction of who you think the Bills definitely gonna have on the Bills team?
So I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bold prediction, but there's a couple edge guys that I could see him going the end. I mean, it's because at the end of the day, we know, Bradley Chubb is 30. We got him for a couple years. Those guys. Well, McDermott rotated the defense, so maybe I don't know if Leonard is the same way. But there's some guys that have been mocked to go either to us late or to go maybe second, third round. There's Cassius Howell out of Texas A&M. He's been mocked to us. He led the SEC in sacks with 11 and a half. I'm sorry, he finished second in the SEC in sacks with 11 and a half. And then you got Malachi Lawrence out of Central Florida. Both 6'4" guys. They're guys that are able to get off blocks and are aggressive edge rushers. So I think those guys could come in and make a little bit of a difference, and I'd be okay with him going edge rusher in the first round too. Like I said, I'd be able to. I'm essentially okay with everything except for an interior lineman or something like that.
What about the interior D line? Because I seen some Peter Wills from Clemson.
Yeah.
Some D tackle from Peter Wills, and I think a lot of Clemson guys are getting. They had a disappointing year, but they always don't. All those guys is 5-star guys, so maybe in the right spot they might turn around. So we'll see.
Then we got Caden McDonald out of Ohio State. They interviewed him a couple of days ago, and he's really good friends with Jordan Hancock. So he said he would like to become a Bill if he fell to us. I don't think he's going to fall that far.
How about say?
You know what position? It's pretty funny not funny, but it's a position that we kind of need, or a position that we're going to need is a backup quarterback. I could see see a late guy, in like a Cade Klubnik out of Clemson.
I'll take a Cade.
Or you'll get him in like the 5th, 6th round or something like that.
You get Eilar in the 5th.
From Penn State. There's some guys that could intrigue at the end of the day, but not. I'm excited, man. I can't believe I'm not going. I got to hit up my guy Stryker. I'm sure he's going to be there tomorrow. Our resident Pittsburgh Overdue Bills partner over there. So got to hit up our guy. But no, it's going to be good. Buffalo's buzzing right now. So I think just adding to that little buzz is going to be great. I'm sure they're going to be whoever they draft is going to be at the next Sabres game. Sabres usually aren't playing right now, so it's cool.
That's definitely they're gonna hit the bong. They're gonna
hit the beer sword.
The beer sword, yeah. That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope. Definitely excited for whoever's going. And I don't know. It don't matter. Whoever that pick, the Bills fans definitely welcome our first round picks. We definitely got that. We definitely welcome. Keon had a good welcome. Harrison had a good welcome. So whoever it is, they definitely gonna be welcome. We're gonna bring them with open arms. So definitely, if you're listening to us right now, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 500. Hopefully, let's try to get to 500 before the season. You know what I mean? We're gonna try to bring y'all content. We're definitely gonna have a pre or a post reactionary draft show as well, based on who we get. We're coming to you next week as well, so look out for that. We're gonna have a post draft show as well. So this is our pre-draft show. If you like some of the names, let us know. If you got some names that you want us to draft, because this gonna be out. Hopefully we can have this out as soon as possible. Put them in the comments below. Just spam the comments and everything. But Matt, you got anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here, man?
No, man, I'm just happy for everybody to be back. We got a new season going. We got the schedule release coming out. We got the post-draft show. We got a lot of stuff coming for you guys. So stay tuned, man, and stick with us.
For sure.
Subscribe to the YouTube and keep enjoying our show.
For sure, we're gonna try to be more active too. We're gonna try to have more content, through the off season. Bills fans love Bill. So we're gonna try to have more content for sure. So yes, we end every show with a little hey.
Hey.
Let's go.